Istanbul has a rich and diverse history, as it has served as the capital of several empires, including the Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman empires. The city was originally founded as Byzantium by the Greeks in 667 BC, and it became Constantinople, the capital of the Roman Empire, in 330 AD. During the Byzantine era, the city was a major center of Christian culture and learning, and its magnificent churches, palaces, and walls were built. In 1453, the Ottoman Turks conquered Constantinople and renamed it Istanbul, making it the capital of the Ottoman Empire. During this time, the city underwent significant expansion, with the construction of new mosques, palaces, and public buildings, as well as the expansion of the city's walls. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Istanbul was transformed into a modern city, with the construction of new infrastructure, including bridges, roads, and public services. After the collapse of the Ottoman Empire in the aftermath of World War I, Istanbul became the capital of the Turkish Republic in 1923. Despite being heavily damaged during World War II, the city underwent a period of rapid growth and modernization in the decades that followed. Today, Istanbul is a vibrant and cosmopolitan city, with a rich cultural heritage, stunning architecture, and a population of over 15 million people. Here are the top sites of Istanbul. Hagia Sophia is a former cathedral and mosque that has been converted into a museum. It was originally built as a cathedral in the 6th century and served as the main church of the Byzantine Empire for almost 1,000 years. The cathedral is famous for its stunning Byzantine architecture, including its massive dome and intricate mosaics. In 1453, the Ottomans converted the building into a mosque and added minarets, but it was converted into a museum in 1935. Today, Hagia Sophia is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Istanbul and is a testament to the city's rich history. Topkapi Palace was the residence of the Ottoman sultans for nearly 400 years. The palace is a sprawling complex with several courtyards, museums, and gardens. Visitors can see the impressive architecture of the palace, including the harem, the private quarters of the sultans, the treasury, and the courtyard of the janissaries. The Blue Mosque is one of the most famous landmarks in Istanbul, named for its intricate blue tile work. It was built in the early 17th century by the Ottoman Sultan Ahmet I and is considered one of the finest examples of Ottoman architecture. The mosque is also notable for its 6 minarets, which were added to differentiate it from the nearby Hagia Sophia. Visitors can admire the beautiful tile work, stained glass, and calligraphy inside the mosque, as well as the serenity of its courtyard. The Basilica Cistern is a vast underground reservoir that dates back to the 6th century. The cistern was built to supply water to the city of Constantinople and is a marvel of ancient engineering. Visitors can walk through the cistern and admire the hundreds of columns and sculptures that were taken from ancient Roman ruins and repurposed in the construction of the cistern. The Grand Bazaar is one of the oldest and largest covered markets in the world. It has been a hub of trade in Istanbul for over 500 years and is a maze of shops selling everything from spices and textiles to jewelry and ceramics. Visitors can wander through the narrow alleyways, haggle with shopkeepers, and admire the beautiful architecture of the bazaar's many buildings. The Grand Bazaar is a unique shopping experience and a must-see for anyone visiting Istanbul. Best time to visit Istanbul? Spring, March to May, and autumn, September to November, are the most popular times to visit, with mild temperatures and fewer crowds. During these months, the weather is ideal for exploring the city's many outdoor attractions, such as the Bosphorus Strait and the historic Sultanahmet neighborhood. Summer, June to August, can be hot and crowded, but it is also the peak tourist season, with many festivals and events taking place in the city. Winter, December to February, can be cold and damp, but the city still offers plenty of indoor attractions, such as the Topkapi Palace and the Hagia Sophia Museum, that can be enjoyed despite the weather. Local transportation in Istanbul. Istanbul has a well-developed public transportation system that makes it easy to get around the city. Some of the most popular options for local transportation in Istanbul include: the Istanbul metro system is fast, efficient, and affordable. It consists of 4 lines that serve many of the city's most popular tourist destinations, such as Taksim Square and Sultanahmet. Trams are a convenient way to get around the city, particularly in the historic Sultanahmet neighborhood and along the European shore of the Bosphorus Strait. Istanbul has an extensive network of public buses that cover many parts of the city. Buses are a cost-effective way to get around, but they can be crowded and slow during rush hour. Taking a ferry is a great way to experience the city from the water and get a different perspective on the city's famous landmarks, such as the Bosphorus Bridge and the Topkapi Palace. Here are some of the Hollywood movies that have been set in Istanbul. Skyfall, 2012, James Bond film where Istanbul serves as a backdrop for an action-packed chase scene. Taken 2 is an action thriller film where Istanbul serves as a location for a dramatic showdown. From Russia with Love, the second James Bond film features a memorable train ride through Istanbul and a classic confrontation in the city. Murder on the Orient Express is a mystery film based on the novel of the same name by Agatha Christie. The film is set on the luxurious train, the Orient Express, as it travels from Istanbul to Calais. The plot revolves around a murder investigation led by Detective Hercule Poirot, who must solve the crime before the train reaches its destination. The Equalizer 2 is an action thriller film that follows the character Robert McCall as he tries to uncover the truth behind the murder of his friend Susan Plummer. The film takes place in several locations, including Istanbul. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is a spy film based on the novel of the same name by John le Carré. The film takes place in the 1970s and follows George Smiley, a former British spy, as he tries to uncover a mole within the British intelligence service. Here are some notable books set in Istanbul. Istanbul, Memories and the City by Orhan Pamuk. This memoir is an exploration of Istanbul's history and culture, as well as the author's personal experiences growing up in the city. The Bastard of Istanbul by Elif Shafak is a novel that explores the interconnected lives of 2 families, one in Istanbul and one in the United States. The story weaves together themes of identity, family, and cultural heritage, and examines the legacy of the Armenian genocide and its impact on the lives of those affected. The Ottoman Empire and Islamic Tradition by Norman Itzkowitz. This historical non-fiction book explores the history of the Ottoman Empire, with a focus on its capital city, Istanbul. The Museum of Innocence by Orhan Pamuk. This novel follows the lives of 2 Istanbul residents as they navigate love, loss, and the city's cultural heritage. My Name is Red by Orhan Pamuk. This novel is set in Istanbul during the Ottoman Empire and tells the story of a group of artists who are tasked with creating an illustrated manuscript. Let us look at 2 celebs who were born in Istanbul and changed the perception of the city. Aliya Kazan was a Turkish-American film and theater director, producer, and writer. He was born in Istanbul in 1909 and immigrated to the United States in 1913. Kazan is best known for his work in Hollywood, where he directed several classic films, including A Streetcar Named Desire, On the Waterfront, and East of Eden. Orhan Pamuk is a Turkish novelist, screenwriter, and academic. He was born in Istanbul in 1952 and is one of Turkey's most renowned authors. Pamuk is best known for his novels, which often explore the intersections of East and West, tradition and modernity, and the complexities of Turkish identity. Istanbul is a city with a rich and complex history, and there are many hidden stories and histories to be discovered throughout the city. Thanks for watching.